All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. Want to give a special thanks to the real Siberius. Thanks once again, my man, for your continued, consistent support of my channel. I really appreciate it. In this video here, come across some research like I often do and discovered something pretty cool. Now, as most of us know, Michael Jordan capitalized on any of his legitimate shots at a championship. But what about semi-legitimate shots at a championship? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. By merely winning 50 games in a season, how often did an all-time great win a championship? 50 games guarantees you nothing. That's a good season, but it hardly makes you a great team. And there's probably going to be several teams ahead of you, most likely, depending on how high up on the food chain you are, maybe high 50s into the 60s win totals. In my newly ranked top 25, Elgin Baylor, he had 5 50-win seasons. He won no championships, so obviously he's got a 5-0 50-win season to championship ratio, 0%. So Giannis is 25% of the time. That's his ratio. Nikola Jokic, 5 50-win seasons, 1 championship. That's 20% of the time. And I did include the equivalent of. It just seemed like it would be fitting here. It also includes the older players in the 50s and 60s. Some of those seasons, they only played 60 games, 72 games, 75 games. So it just seemed fitting to make it the equivalent of, to get a level playing field. Kevin Durant, 9 50-win seasons in his career, 2 championships. That only comes to 22.22%. Some of you guys that were giving me crap about, oh, Durant's much higher than number 22 all time. I don't know about that. Besides only having 1 MVP, Durant just didn't win like he should have. For the talent level that he had, everybody telling me how great he is, the winning just didn't match up. And those 2 championships was the result of forming an even greater super team, if that's possible, which I'm not even still sure that the Durant-Curry Warriors was a greater super team than Miami Heat was. A lot of people just think it's a foregone conclusion that, oh yeah, Durant, when they got Durant, it was over. It was a wrap. I'm not so sure about that. They might have been the best team in the NBA at that time, but the NBA was weak also. The teams that could have competed against them either got injured or somehow got disbanded one way or another. And Cleveland should have had a better showing when they had Kyrie and Love healthy and good to go and got beaten 5 games. I understand that, oh, well, they had Durant, they had the upper hand. Maybe a little bit, but I don't think it was overwhelming by any means. I don't think the 17 Warriors were as talented as everybody's, oh, the most talented team ever. I don't see it that way at all. I think they were a great team, probably the best team of the entire decade, maybe, but I don't know. The Miami Heat had Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen. They had some high-level players themselves on those teams. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion by any means that Golden State was the best team, say, in the last 15 years. Maybe they were. David Robinson, 11 times he won 50 games, which that in itself is a really good achievement, but only 2 championships, and one of them when he was in his last season, barely playing 20 minutes a game. Yeah, 18.18% technically, but meh. Bob Pettit, only 2 times he won 50-win seasons because of the 8 teams in the league. It was tough to rack up a lot of wins unless you were Boston. And he did win 1 championship, so he's 50% of that. So that's good. Kevin Garnett, 7 times won 50 wins or more, 1 championship. That comes to 14.28%. Karl Malone, 13 times won 50 games, no championships. So their best chances coming in 97 and 98, just didn't get over the hump. George Mikan, 5 50-win seasons in his career, 5 championships, 100%. Now, there was 1 year that they didn't win 50 games, but won the championship. And another year they won 50 games, but didn't win the championship. They got upset by Rochester, and I believe that was in 19 52, if I'm not mistaken. Oscar Robertson, 5 50-win seasons, 1 championship, 20%. Moses Malone, exact same thing. 5 50-win seasons, 1 championship, 20%. Steph Curry, 7 50-win seasons, 4 championships, 57.14%. 2 of his championships are aided by having Kevin Durant on his team in a weakened NBA. A virtual cakewalk to the finals. Jerry West, 7 50-win seasons, 1 championship. 7-1, that's 14.28. That's the same as Garnett. Dr. J, 12 50-win seasons, including the ABA, 3 championships, 25%. LeBron James, 14 50-win seasons, only 4 championships, 28.57%. The exact same as Shaquille O'Neal, 14-4, 28.57%. Tim Duncan, in the ballpark, 18 50-win seasons, 5 championships, that's 27.77%. And Olajuwon also right in line with the rest of these guys. Everybody likes to crap on Olajuwon for he only won 2 championships. He won 50 games only 7 times. Never won 60, was never a number 1 seed, won 2 championships. It's the exact same percentage of winning 50 games and then winning championships as LeBron and Shaquille O'Neal. There you go. Wilt Chamberlain, 8 times won 50 games. He's got 2 championships, 25%. Larry Bird, 11 50-win seasons, 3 championships, 27.77, the same as Tim Duncan. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 16 50-win seasons, 6 championships, 37.5%. Kobe Bryant, 11 50-win seasons, at least as a starter. 5 championships, that comes to 45.45%. That's pretty good. One of the better ones on here. But if you want to throw it on there, Kobe, even though he wasn't playing near as many minutes, especially his rookie season, they did win 50 games in 97 and 98, so he would be 13 with 5. Fine. Magic Johnson, 12 50-win seasons every year from 1980 to 91, 5 championships. 41.66%, that's a high percentage. Bill Russell, he's going to have the second highest on here. 13 50-win seasons every year of his career, 11 championships, 84.61%. That's awesome. Michael Jordan, 8 times won 50 games or more, 6 championships, 75%. Only Russell and Mikan above him. I got another one here. 50-win seasons, sure. But how did each all-time great do when they won 50 games? In that exact season, did you also beat at least one 50-win team yourself? That's very telling. That would be level competition, or at least somewhat comparable competition. How did you do when you had somewhat comparable competition? Most of the time, these guys are going to be the better team, but not always. Just depends. Same thing for Elgin Baylor. 5 seasons, never beat a 50-win team. Unbelievable. He never beat a 50-win team. Never happened. Crazy. Giannis, 4 50-win seasons, but only one of the 4 seasons he beat at least 50-win. Now, he did beat multiple 50-win teams in 2021, but that's the only season he ever beat 50-win teams, was in 2021. That's why he may have had 4 50-win seasons, but only the 1 year did he beat a 50-win team. And that's what I'm going for here. Regardless of how many you beat in that season, it's just about how many seasons of beating 50-win teams. Nikola Jokic, he's had 5 seasons of 50 wins, yet only 2 different seasons did he beat a team of the equivalent of 50 wins or more. That would have been in 2020 against the Clippers, and then again this year in 25 beat the 50-win LA Clippers. But there was 3 other times they won 50 games and did not beat a 50-win team. Kevin Durant, 9 times won 50 games, 6 times beat at least one 50-win team in those seasons. 60%. That's actually pretty good. David Robinson, 11 times 50-win seasons. 4 of those seasons he beat at least one 50-win team for 36.36%. Bob Pettit, 2 50-win seasons, but he never beat a 50-win team, at least not in those seasons. Kevin Garnett, 7 times 150 wins, 3 times beat at least 150 win team in those seasons, 42.85, not bad. Karl Malone, 13 50 win seasons, 6 times beat at least 150 win team in those seasons, 46.15%, not bad. Right around half should be at least okay, so he's close. George Mikan, 5 50 win seasons, 4 of them he beat at least 150 win team, 80%. There was one championship that they didn't even beat a 50 win team. Oscar Robertson, 5 times 150 games, twice beat at least 150 win team, and I believe that was in 1972 and 1974, if I'm not mistaken. Moses Malone, same exact thing. 5 50 win seasons, twice beat at least 150 win team. Steph Curry, 7 50 win seasons, at least 6 of those seasons beat at least 1 50 win team. Jerry West, 7 50 win seasons, twice beat at least 1 50 win team. Dr. J, 12 50 win seasons, 7 times beat at least 1 50 win team. LeBron James, 14 times won 50 or more games, 10 times beat at least 1 50 win team. That's pretty good. That's giving him a 71.42%. Again, the same as Shaq. 14 50 win seasons, 10 times of those 14 50 win seasons beat at least 1 50 win team himself. Tim Duncan, 18 times won 50 games, 13 times beat at least 1 50 win team. 72.22%. It's pretty high. Hakeem Olajuwon, 7 times won 50 games, 4 times beat at least 1 50 win team. Wilt Chamberlain is at 50% with 8 50 win seasons and 4 times beat a 50 win team. Larry Bird, 11 50 win seasons, 6 times beat at least 1 50 win team for a 54.54%. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 16 50 win seasons, 9 times beat at least 1 50 win team, 56.25%. Kobe Bryant, 11 times, at least as a starter, 150 games, 9 times beat at least 1 50 win team for an 81.81% of the time. Now, if you want to throw in 97 and 98, you can. That would make it 13 50 win seasons, but I think they did beat at least 1 50 win in that. So I think it'd be 10 out of 13, which is still going to be a pretty good percentage. Magic has 12 50 win seasons, 9 times beat at least 1 50 win team for 75%. In fact, I think the only years he didn't was in 81 when they got upset by Houston, 86 when they got upset by Houston, and 1990 when they got upset by Phoenix. Pretty sure that's right. Bill Russell, same thing as Magic, 12 times won 50 wins or more. The only time he didn't was in 69. 9 times beat at least 1 50 win team. Because some of those years in there, teams just couldn't rack up the wins like that because of all the parity. There's a lot of parity besides Boston and Philly and St. Louis and the Lakers. There was different stretches where there's a really good team besides Boston. Even Cincinnati, a couple years, had some really good years. Michael Jordan, out of all these players on this list, 8 50 win seasons. That would have been 88, 90, 91, 92, 93, 96, 97, and 98. All those seasons, they beat at least 1 50 win team. Obviously, the 6 championship years. Then you got 1990. They beat Philly. I think they were a 53 win team. Of course, Game 7 in the conference finals, the migraine game and all that. But the only one they failed to beat a 50 win team was in 1988, where somehow it was a miracle the Bulls even won 50 games. When you watch the crap and the junk that he was playing with, they might have got away with that against Cleveland in the first round, but when they went up against Detroit, forget it. And this was no pushover Detroit team. People focus on the 89 and 90 Pistons because they won the championship, but let's face it, the 88 Pistons ended Boston's run right there. They were the 4-time East champs. They ended it in 6 games. After they were done with Boston, they pushed the Lakers to a hard-fought 7-game series. maybe should have won it. There was a couple questionable calls at the end of that game. No Isaiah Thomas in Game 7. Took a monumental effort from James Worthy to win that championship, but it looked like maybe Detroit was going to win that thing in 88. They were a championship-level team, and the Bulls were just straight hot garbage outside of Michael Jordan. One serviceable player in Oakley, a couple up-and-coming serviceable players in Pippen and Grant, but even they were inconsistent because they were young. Here's a clip of the very first game between Detroit and the Bulls in that whole 4-year playoff slugfest from 88 to 91. And you tell me, this was a joke. Jordan had nowhere to turn with the ball. He was double and triple teamed, per usual, beat up to a pulp, and yet all his teammates were just hot garbage. See for yourself.
The Chicago Bulls and the Detroit Pistons. First of all, for Chicago, winners of 50 games on the regular season and beating Cleveland in 5. It'll be Scottie Pippen in the second start of his career at forward, along with the second leading rebounder in the NBA, Charles Oakley. Dave Corzine, who struggled a little bit in the Cleveland series at center. Michael Jordan, who averaged 45 points a game in the first round. And Sam Benson, who's been in a slump. A lot more than Collins wanted him to. Nice entry pass to Corzine, slapped away by Lane Beer. 5 on the shot clock. Vincent missing. Pippen from the perimeter. They need him to hit that, but that's his weakest area. Very good at stripping that ball after the rebound. Now Oakley from the perimeter. Triple team on Jordan. Got past them all, but lost control of the ball. Doug Collins spent that timeout talking to Sam Benson, trying to get him started. Jordan travels. Been a nightmare for Michael Jordan. Here are tonight's Honda leaders, brought to you by Honda, makers of CRX, Civic, Accord, and Prelude. Test drive one at your local Honda dealer today. There's the percentage of team points. You talk about one-man teams or guys that they go to in the clutch. Jordan, Elijah Wan, Malone, and Dominique Wilkins. But tonight, only 21% for Michael Jordan. Nowhere to go except for Corzine. Screen goes to the other side, and they get it to Pippen out here. Pippen having a hard time scoring tonight. Vincent. Jordan. Nice pass to Corzine. Stripped away. Grant couldn't get the entry pass. Now Jordan, what a move that is. He's fouled on the drive. To Horace Grant. Now Corzine waiting to get back in on the sideline for Detroit. Jordan with a great move, and they call him for the offensive foul. Stripped away by Michael Jordan. He feeds Oakley. Back to Jordan on the reverse. Pippen wide open.
And for the Chicago Bulls, they've gone over 4 minutes without scoring in the field for Chicago.
Jordan scoring from inside. Sellers.
Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind sharing it, that would be great. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I give daily content, and that's it. Until next time.